if you're just joining us right now, we're just giving the camera and all that set up some time to break, because it seems to work after we give it a few minutes. So I'm just walking around the house. You can see me there for a second, trying to get other things ready. I'm going to cook some dinner in a bit. So stay tuned. We're going to play some student etudes. As a matter of fact, I might stand right here and just go through them and choose which ones. I guess I can try to do all of them a little bit. We only have a short time today, but I think that would be fun to try. Let's get some mouthpieces set up. In general, I'm not sure why people use these streams except that to let people come on. And I don't know if anybody's going to come on today, but I suppose I should start doing this, yeah? Let me know in the comments if you hate it or if you love it. I suppose I should also get my etude if I can find it. Where did I? Should be right here. Yes. So we'll play that a little bit too. All right. I guess I'll be back in a minute and a half. All right, and we're here just in time. So let me go turn off those cool things. And here we are. Seems to be working. I'm sure I've spoken too soon, but I haven't also tested my setup for a little while, so hopefully everything's still set up the way it needs to be. But we're going to mostly play B-flat trumpet, I think, today, because these are etudes, like it says in the description. What we're going to do today is play etudes written by my students for themselves. So sometimes they're just nice melodies that they wrote. Other times they are specific about something that they've been working on. So the first one I have here is called Major Leaps. It's very larger leaps and plays with dynamics and different kinds of rhythms and things like that. So I find them all very fascinating, and some of them are really very good. And we're not going to pass judgment on them individually, of course, because I don't want anybody to feel bad if I don't like their etude or something. But I really do like most of these a whole lot, and I like all of them at least a little bit. So we're going to go through as many as we can in about a half an hour, and then I got to cook dinner. I've had quite a day. I did a school show, and I got some vaccinations, and now I am doing my stream, and I need to cook dinner for my girlfriend. So big day, right? A lot of things. So let's see. We're going to get out the B-flat trumpet. Now, in my school show, we just kind of warmed up, and so I'm definitely super warmed up from a couple hours ago, and I'm pretty well rested. Let's get our stand in a little bit better position here. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. And our light, yes, okay. So this one's called Major Leaps, and we're just going to sight read them, and then if I need to, I'll talk about what I would do in order to work on it, and maybe we'll work on some of them. Some of them are quite hard, so I probably will need to. But okay, let's just play this one and see how it goes, and then we'll talk about it. So pretty hard one to warm up with, to be honest. I missed a lot of notes. I just like airballed because I haven't played a note for a couple hours, right? But this kind of sets itself up for success because we've got a nice loud first note, and so I think I just went a little too far out of the edges of my ability, and I just wasn't very well set up. So let's try it all again. And let's see if we can do a little bit better. We also need to do more dynamic contrast at the end there. It goes from pianissimo all the way to fortissimo in 2 measures, I think. They're whole notes, but I think they're meant to be half notes there. So let's try it all again. And what would I do to try to make this a little bit more successful? Well, I might just practice the dynamic contrast, right, on single notes, and that way I'm not scrambling for 2 different things, the note and the dynamic, but I'm ready to do both. So let me try that first. Yeah, I think I did a little bit of color change stuff there, and it's not what's written, right? So I'm going to try really hard to keep the color the same and change just the dynamic in the note. And that might make me miss a lot of notes, but it'll certainly be a challenge. So let's try it all again now, and I'm going to really try to keep the color the same, even in the softs. Yeah, so a lot better that time, and helping me work on something that I need to work on, even though that's not why it was written. So excellent. The next one I'm going to save for a little later because it's much, much harder than most of the others. But let's keep going. Oh, there's some interesting... I don't think some of them knew that I was going to collect them, so there are some interesting editorializing comments printed in the part because they were having trouble, obviously, getting whatever program they were using to work well, but that's very funny. Okay, this one though is in pencil, which of course I love. If you are the person that wrote this one, again, I'm trying to stay anonymous here. I think we said they would all be by Drew. Drew, one of my students, volunteered to be the anonymous author of all of these, but this one is not by Drew originally. Or in any other way. Okay, so remind me, if you are the pencil student, that I should give you a good pencil, even though this looks fine. But I have lots of good pencils in my collection, as you know. So, all right. Let's see what we need to see here. This one is about double and triple tonguing. And so I'm going to need to look at some licks here. So I imagine that I am meant to double tongue the 16th notes, and I guess I probably need work on that. Okay, I might have to sing a little bit of this one, so let's do that now. Let's see. Okay. Yeah. This is hard. Oh, now it's in the mic. So I need to go a little slower than probably I'm singing it, but we're working on the coordination of our tongue. Right? We're working on the taka-takas, and I don't want to get those wrong, because if I'm confused at all on that, then I'm not going to be able to play anything. So I might go a little slower on this one, but we'll see how it goes. Yeah, it's a nice etude. There's a couple of little tricky intervals that I didn't quite get, and I knew I could get. We even practiced it, but I was not sure it was 100% chromatic. I would, if I was playing this etude for real, so to speak, and not just reading it, I would mark in the chromatic lines so that I don't have to guess. Not because it's unclear in the music, but because any reading of notes is unclear in music of all types, right? We never want to read, we want to play sounds. So, okay, here's another one. This one is in 7/8, and once upon a time 6/8, twice, 3 times, a couple of times. So we gotta deal with that. And this student played it really fast in the trumpet class last night. So so if we just kind of groove out in F, I think we'll get most of it. And then we got to be careful about those 6/8. So I'll go very slightly slower than that probably, so I can get it all. Yeah, it's a really nice etude, right? And if you've never played in 7/8 before, this is a great beginner etude for it, because it's diatonic and it's a scale that we can probably play pretty well. But it's not just up and down. It goes up and down, I should say, right? It's not just up a scale and down a scale. It wiggles around like a Clark a little bit, and then it also has that mixed meter section that's really quite brilliant. So excellent job if you're watching this later or now. You know who you are. That was a nice etude. All right, let's keep going. This one, let's see. Some of these I might not be able to read as well as I'd like, so I may have to sort of play at them or skip them entirely, and that's okay. I'll maybe ask those people to rewrite it a little bit so that it's more legible. But what I do every year, but I think we're going to change to every semester, is I ask my students to write these etudes, and then I collect them at the end of the class, and I copy them all, and then I redistribute them at the next class so that everybody has a brand new etude book that they've never possibly seen before, and then they can also ask each other about their etudes, right? And then I keep a copy in the studio always so that you can see previous iterations of that book, And I might make a best of someday because there are really some brilliant etudes along the way. But okay, so let's see. This one is just a melodic etude, so I'm just gonna go for it. It's a little bit hard to read, so I might be guessing a little bit. But what do we want to work on in this? Well, I think I want to not let the guessing cause me to stop playing musically, right? So even if I'm not sure of what I'm playing, I want to try to just play something that goes somewhere. And that's a hard thing to do. So I'm going to try that here, and we'll see how it goes for me. So I got my embouchure caught out a little bit there, and I almost didn't make it to the end. But that was all right. Otherwise, I think I also played 2 notes wrong because I did what I said, right? I was confused about a note, but I just played something, and I got it wrong, I think. But in the end, it was still musical and lyrical. So this one is a little harder to read because the note heads are not very big. But that it makes it easy to eventually read. I'm just going to be hard to sight read, but I'm just going to go for it anyway because I don't have very many more of these. And let's see. This one reminds me of, I can't remember, maybe a Saxa or something. I use the Saxa book a lot. But all right, let's just go for it. I'm not probably going to get the dynamics because this was another pencil one, so you should probably, this student should have some good pencils by now, but if you don't, hit me up. I'll get you some good pencils. You probably need a darker pencil than this just so that it's clearer to write with. But anyway, here we go on this one. Oh, and we froze the video just in time, right? All right, let me look at that real quickly. But it shouldn't be too bad of a freeze today. All right, so that one was tough. That one took a lot out of me. Long etude. I guess I could have played it faster, but all right. Now this is where it's gonna get rough, because this is a the student said that it was a post-tonal etude, which is technically true, but and also transposed different trumpets throughout, and that's going to be a trick for me. I'm going to play it on C trumpet as he did, but the trick is, so it's in C, I suppose, at first, and then it's in B flat, and then it's in E flat, and then it's in F, and then it's in A. So if you know the Bordoni transposed etudes book, it does the same thing, but you can sort of ignore it a little bit once you figure out the melody, because, well, it's a tonal melody. It's a Bordoni, right? So you don't have to worry so much about what note you're going to play next, because you know it's just usually the same note a lot of times, right? That you've been playing in the previous trumpet. So yeah, this is going to be a tricky one. But he said it was post-tonal, and it is, but it is not atonal, in case you're wondering that, because that's what I was kind of expecting, is that it would be all over the place. And it's not. It's whole tonal. Whole tone scale is what it utilizes, I think, almost exclusively. It might use several different ones. We could analyze it later. But basically what I have to do is figure out my first note in each of these sections before I can even play it. So trumpet in B flat, I'll probably do fine. Trumpet in E flat, well, that's what on C trumpet, that's going to be up a minor third. We've got an F, low F, so that's going to be A flat. And then I just need to look at this for a second. So D flat. Why is this sticky? All right, so that's going to be an E. Where did it go? Okay. Yeah. Da, 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 da. And then, oh, these flats are killing me. Da, 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 da. All right, well, 12 tone, right? Sorry, whole tone. So if I can get the first note, I should just play a scale, right? So this one's da 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 da, and then da 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 da. Nope, that's wrong. Da 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 da. Oh, so this part I'm going to have to really practice, I think. The E flat part. Then trumpet in F. Da, 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 da. And now this is not whole tone anymore. Okay, so we're going to have to practice this etude, which is great for the etude and for me, but not for my time. I'm running out of time as we speak, right? So, but let me practice it in front of you a little bit and show you how I would approach it. So we've got trumpet in F, trumpet in E flat, trumpet in A, and then the B flat one I'm not going to worry too much about because we do that a lot. And the C one I'm not going to worry about. I'll hopefully be able to sight read that mostly. And I'll have to go slow. It's only 90 to the quarter note, but I might have to go a lot slower than that. So I'm going to very quickly go through and chunk. There's a form of chunking where it sounds like swing, where you just do two notes at a time, and then you do the opposite, which is the Scottish snap rhythm, da 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 da, and da 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 da. Those are the two that we're going to do because that's a really quick way to try to give your brain time to calculate the next note. So you do basically two at a time, right? And we're going to do that. And then we're going to start at the end like we should. Trumpet in A is where we end up. So that's down a minor third, right? And that's kind of mean because E flat is up a minor third, down a minor third is A. But in some ways that's nice and symmetrical, so maybe that's on purpose. Anyway, so let's see that section. Okay, what do we need to know? D flat is B flat, right? We can sort of just, well, I'm not going to try that. All right, we're going to play slowly for that section. Then we're going to chunk, two-note chunk the trumpet in F section, and then the trumpet in E flat section we're going to sort of memorize. And I'm not going to be able to talk in between because it'll take me too long, and you're not here to hear me talk more. Well, I guess if you're here at this point, you might be, because I certainly do it a lot. But anyway, all right, here's the trumpet in A. section near the end. All right, here, what am I doing here? Okay. Is that too many? 7, 8. Oh. It's also, I forgot to mention, some of the licks in it are based on pieces that the student is playing right now. That happens to be sort of an ultra chromatic Honegger lick, which I very much like. So we might have to save this one for later because this is taking me a lot longer just because of the complexity of the etude. It's not even the transposition that's getting me. It's what it looks like on the page, like a D flat next to a B natural next to an A flat. And I need to just mark this up. So I'm going to copy it and mark it up, and I'll do it on a future stream. And then maybe I can practice it and share it with you in its full form. But I'll do my best bad sight reading to end the stream, and then I'm going to cook, I believe, some mofongo for dinner. We'll see. All right. This is a hack job at this etude, and then we're out. So pretty bad. My sight reading skills should be better than that. So I'm going to have to work on that. And it's not something that we get to do on the stream a lot because, well, the stuff that's around me, I usually have played a lot, or I'm working on it, so I've already played it some. This I've never played before, and that's one of the best parts about this Etude, Write Your Own Etude Night, is that there's no way I could have seen any of these etudes before. And some of them were not too hard to sight read, but this one is the post-tonal sight reading and transposing at the same time. That's a challenge, I hope, for most people, but certainly for me. So anyway, I'm going to end it on at least the last note was right, high B flat. Okay. And I hope you enjoyed these etudes. I hope you'll do this with your own trumpet studios, wherever you may be. And I will catch you in the next one, and maybe some a little more this weekend.